Hello and welcome back to Junior Television. Today we're back in the lab for the first time in a good long while, and today we're working on these little gems. They're both FoMoCo brand radios for automobiles. You might wonder, when is that video you promised about fan? Well, I'm being lazy. I have the footage, I just haven't edited it yet. However, this weekend you can expect a different content about fans. This little thing of a fan needs repair. It has extreme play on the armature and needs help badly. This thing is so loud when it's running, you can't use it unless you want to be in a room that sounds like a machine gun is going on. Enough about this. Alright, so we're back over here. You can see here we have two radios. Both of them are transistor variety. One of them is significantly newer than the other one, which you can't even tell because I don't have a light. I wish I had a light so I could show you a better comparison of the scale, but the thing is this one on the top is way shorter than this one, because this is a 1962. It's straight out of a Mercury Comet. It's a very nice radio, if I'm honest. That was me. But besides that, it was actually pretty nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. It used to power on. I don't know if it still does, and that's what we're about to find out. This one on the top did not work, and let me show you why. On the back, we have a couple things. You can see these wires here, poorly soldered on. That's actually areas where the trace was not conducting. You might say, well, that trace looks fine under there. Well, apparently it wasn't, because it was not conductive. Yeah, I probably could have just added solder and made it a nice trace, but I didn't. Same goes for this here. And this one it was such a short break that I just took and stripped the wire completely and just soldered it on. This here, that is a hand laid trace. There was, where you see that black stuff, there was not even any flux. The solder did not want to lay down on that area, but I had to just kind of stretch it over there. It took a little while because I had to keep making a huge blob and then trying to transfer it over to the other side. Point is, it was a little bit tough, but it worked. You can see here there's some more traces, but they don't connect to anything, not even each other, so I figured it would be fine if I left them undid, because that would be way too much effort to do those. Otherwise, the traces aren't bad. I don't know exactly what caused them to rot out like that, but they did. The rest of the radio, it's a compact, so you can see it's very cramped. You would not imagine trying to work on this thing. Except you could, because the motherboard just popped right out. Or circuit board, sorry. This one, on the other hand, the bottom is a total nightmare to work on. You could not imagine the hell I went through trying to diagnose what is wrong with this. The light bulb did turn on, this little guy, whenever it would be powered on. But nothing else would. This did click. It made the speaker click, you could hear it click, but nothing else happened. No stations worked. It did on rare occasion make alien type noises, but that's about it. I'll show you the inside of this one once I show you this one trying to function, this top one. This one here, usually it would say all transistor on the bottom, and instead of saying Mercury, just have 4 squares, and instead of having these pretty nice tannish beige buttons, it would have these 4 very large and ugly, in my opinion, silver buttons that have paint falling off. And this was the one that was on this was quite bad in terms of the chrome. However, this one I salvaged off of a tube radio. Another one that's off screen, and I will show you later. But for now, this is the one we're looking at. We have a tuning dial. And we have these 4 buttons. They all tune to, different stations. I think I have stations already preset. And fun thing you can do with these, I won't demonstrate on this because I think that's set to a station. But on this one, you can see I set it so that it, sorry about my hand there, ultra fast tuning. Just, let's say you want to get to 9. Now you're at 9, and you can tone it in with this. It's a lot faster than trying to use this very stiff tuning dial. The mechanism of here is terrible. I will show you it. On-off does work, it's just, I already showed you it earlier, it just clicks. Same here. Bass and treble, tuning. That would move if I wanted it to, but I'm not trying to turn it. Alright, now here's how I set it up. I got this little 12 volts DC plug here that totally doesn't go to a unrelated radio. Anyways, it's center positive. So I just have a little wire running down to here, and that black wire is the original positive wire, because I guess red wasn't a color back then. Yeah, that's a joke. Then this mounts neatly into my little ground strap here. This just loops around this. It is hard to install this one-handed, so I'm gonna... Ta-da! This is, yeah, very professional. Clearly this is actually going in a 1962 Mercury Comet, so this is not gonna be the system it uses forever. Anyways, so yeah, that's our ground, that's our positive. This is plugged in right now, this is live. I do have an antenna jigged up here. You see that horrifying contraption? That little wire runs down to this horrifying mess. This is a bundle of wires that runs all the way down. All the way down. To the antenna. And it works. I didn't say well. Alright, let's test this out. You can immediately hear static, that's always a good sign. Touching the antenna there. Apparently that wasn't tuned into a station. That's not good. That's not fun. You know, I wouldn't be concerned if I had just listened to this off camera and it was fine. Well, I'd be probably more concerned, but I didn't do that, actually. I listened to this last time about a well over a month ago, and here's what I did. See that ugly box? That's where it was, with the iMac on top. So yeah. Now, I don't mean it was directly sitting on top. There was a bunch of things in that box, one of which was this. And when I the camera's what's doing it. I'm gonna see if it works off camera, but before we do that, what happened was I saw this. Volume down. Anyway, what I saw was this bulging out severely. It had come undone from over there and was bulging out about that far. And it was like a serious bulge. It wasn't just sticking out straight, it was curved like an arc. And that was very scary. I thought it was broken. It might be broken now. So that's always a great sign. I'm gonna see if I can get this to pick up a station off camera. Alright, a little bit of off camera testing determined this is working perfectly fine. What's happening here is you might detect there's no whatchamacallit on top. There's no cover. Now, that's because we don't know where the original cover went. It just, poof, disappeared. Like, we don't know where it is. And unfortunately, there's a fan in the background, and this camera provide enough electrical interference to drown out the stations. Now, it was still popping and fizzing extremely bad off camera. The only thing is I could hear voices in the background. So, I know there's stations coming in, it's just poor reception and a big chunk to do with the camera and the fan. That's just so cool. Anyways, now I'll set up this beast. Alright, we're back. Here we are. Here it is, the inside of this beast. This is analog electronics, if I've ever seen any. You can see transistor 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them in here. So, I'm sure I'd find them if I looked for them. But, either way, there's multiple transistors in here. Now, here's what I gotta say. I believe this has been serviced in the past. I believe that because one of these things is not like the other. This transistor over here, Mr. Gold, looks completely different than these two. And this one looks even more different. I mean, look how tiny that is. Alright, camera ain't focusing. But yeah, it's a tiny, especially compared to the other one. Now, I know that transistors come in different sizes, but that is not rusty at all. Neither is this one. Whereas, what the heck? Alright, anyways, whereas these two are very clearly very rusty. Get off of me. Christ. It's like some kind of flying device in my room, and I don't appreciate it. Probably hunting. Now, the bottom is much cleaner, thank goodness. Oh, you want light? Fine. Anyways, here it is. You just got a capacitor transformer, which I don't even know how they use that on DC. I know they can, but it's like, how? I'm not knowledgeable. Shush. Yeah, you're like these. I believe they like tune in the signal. Like these two things are like AM alignment or something, I don't remember. You got that, an adjustable thing. Don't know what it does. You got this. I don't know what that is. I think it's a transistor, like really big, but I don't know. You got that horrible mechanism I talked about. It's reliable, but it's very stiff. You got this tiny gear directly on the handle, turning this big gear, and there's a lot of friction generated by these two gears, especially crammed with dust and rust. You got your antenna here, standard. You got this other adjustable thing on here. And this is what might be the problem. I'm not close to sure. I'm sure somebody else has already spotted it, hopefully, but I think this could be a little droplet of the problem because I haven't even tried to play with this at all. Or that could be the problem. Just found this piece of wire jumping a couple of these together. Wasn't soldered on there, just kind of chilling out. So that's another possibility, but I'm gonna play with this while it's on. That's just the on switch, and this is nothing special. This is the mechanical tuning device, which also controls those, buttons. Alright, now here's how this setup works. First, we got our speaker plugged into the most decrepit looking RCA style plug I've ever seen in my life. We got our totally awesome, definitely not horrible antenna plugged right in. And then, zoop, over here we got, that's not what I meant to grab, this. This is the only wire I can believe is maybe the positive. You should never be that unconfident in what is the positive, or unsure is probably a better word, but you should never be that unsure as to what is the positive before just applying power. But I am, so let's destroy some transistors. Alright, here we are. We got our patented high quality setup installed right here. Now we're just gonna not plug this in yet because I think it would be wise not to put a little light bulb in here. Not because I need a light, but because it's a great indication if I've got power going to the right places. You want to see something stupid? Okay, there's a light bulb. Deep inside of this radio. This is the one we just played. And I thought, oh, it'll be right behind the door. No, it's tucked in there. Why would you do this? This is ridiculous. Why would it be as far in there as possible? And you can't just take this off because you have to take this off. And you have to take this off by taking this off. And you have to take that off and this off. And it's a whole chore just to replace one bulb. It's ridiculous. So that means we're not going to be using a light. Make sure that's off because I don't want to make sure that's off. Make sure this is doing nothing. Let's go. Nope. No, that ain't going in. Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna try again off camera. Now I got this just barely teetering in there because unlike the last one, it doesn't just push in. So, let's go. Yeah. Let me try tuning it. Oh, of course, that tuning knob is impossible to move without the knob. Hold on. Let me get my tuning device. Nope, this ain't like the other one where it's a flat head thing. Oh, good grief. This is the most inconvenient. Wait. That's right. Why didn't you guys remind me? I have tuning. Magical tuning buttons, remember? Volume maxed so that I can... Okay, that did nothing. We should have at least heard a little bit of crackle. Now I'm turning that dial. You know, see, you might wonder why I turned it all the way out, not even bothering to go in small increments then tuning. Well, here's why. I am on about 600, a little before actually, probably 590. Now, what should happen if it's an antenna related problem is I should hear crackles and weird, AM radio sounds with this volume maxed. That's not what's happening here. What's happening here is complete silence. Well, not complete, there's a hum, but that's it. It's definitely a problem with AM amplification because this crackles and you can hear it through the speaker. So I think that the transistor, the audio amplification circuit is okay, but I think that it's having a problem either getting AM channels whatsoever, just getting AM on the band. It could be this tuning block. It could be the AM preamp or whatever the heck it's called. It could be a number of things, I think. But I'm not an expert, and I'm zoomed in on that light bulb. Anyways, I'm not an expert. There is an extremely good chance that these two ugly, very rusty transistors might need to be replaced, like these two little guys look like they have. I don't know. It could be the capacitors, because everybody says, oh, you gotta change the caps if they're old, and, I understand why, especially with wax caps. Are these wax? I think they're ceramic, but either way, I understand why. I don't know. I'm so not experienced with analog electronics as much as I want to be. So, yeah, now that's been this. That has been this. And, yeah. That's been this. Thank you so much for watching Junior Television. I will be darned impressed if you made it this far. You're a trooper. If you actually enjoyed this content, then not only will I be surprised, but, please go ahead and like the video, or don't. Leave a comment that tell me what I could improve on besides the poor camera work. And yeah, I will see you maybe in the next video. Please, I need this.